Have you ever heard of scoliosis? It might sound like a complex term, but stick around because today we're diving into how it impacts your posture, spine, and overall health, and which exercises can actually help. Let's start with some basics. Scoliosis is where your spine takes a bit of a curve instead of running straight up your back. You know how a well-balanced stack of books stands straight and tall? Well, imagine if a few of those books were slightly shifted to the side. That's kind of like what we're talking about with this scoliotic curve. Now, when doctors talk about scoliosis, they use something called the Cobb angle to measure it. If the angle is at least 10 degrees and there's vertebral rotation, that's when we call it a scoliosis. Check out previous videos because I go more in depth on how to diagnose and how to find out if you actually have a scoliosis. So what causes this curve? Yeah, genetics plays a part, but it's not the only thing. There are multiple factors shaping its structure. Things like the way you stand, sit, bend, move. Past injuries can also contribute to the progression of it. So for example, if you notice that your child wears a backpack on one side more than the other, causing him or her to lean, or you carry a bag over one shoulder more often than the other, with this uneven load, this leads to a more noticeable shift, a more noticeable lean. And that's how a scoliosis can progress. But here's a surprise. Even a tiny curve can become a bigger deal down the road. It's like having a slight bend in a nail, and even little taps on its head with the hammer can cause it to bend more and more and more. And this can happen no matter what age you are. When it comes to treatment, chiropractors are often in the spotlight, but studies aren't fully sure how effective only getting adjustments are for correcting a scoliosis. Enter specific corrective exercises. Instead of a generic cookie cutter workout, you get exercises designed just for your spine's needs. Research is showing that these tailored exercises can really help improve your posture and the curve. But beware, because not all exercises are equal. Some are more like a one-size-fits-all, while others, especially for scoliosis, need to be tailored for you and the scoliosis. Personalized corrective exercises are far superior, and why it's just difficult to blindly give you generic postural exercises to help with a scoliosis. Why? Because with a scoliosis, there are at least two distortions, two displacements. One larger, which is called the primary curve, and the other is smaller, the secondary. And it's important to find the order-specific series of movements that results in the largest reduction of the curve. For example, do you shift first and then bend, or vice versa to help correct the scoliosis? Because the order matters. The most accurate way to find out this order is with stress x-rays. That's where you perform the movements opposite the postural displacements. Let's look at this example so you can get a picture in your head of what I'm talking about. So this is a neutral view of a lumbar spine x-ray, looking at this person from the front. So here's the left side, here's the right side. The primary larger displacement is a left lateral translation or a shift with a right lateral flexion as the secondary. So that's the bend. So to determine which order of movements creates the most correction, we take stress x-rays. So this is stress x-ray number 1, in which we did a right lateral translation first and then a left lateral flexion to try to decrease and see what the results would be by taking that order of movements in opposition to this, if that would create a curve correction. So you see it didn't really do a whole lot because we tried to have them shift to the right this way and then bend back to the left. But that didn't work too well. This is stress x-ray number 2, in which we did the secondary movement first, followed by the primary. So they were instructed to maximally bend to their left, laterally flex to their left, which is in opposition to their displacement here. And then after that, have them rotate in the opposite direction of the distortion, and then add a right lateral translation. So a shift to the right in that way. And you see that created much better curve correction. So that's why order matters. If we would just say shift to your right first and then bend to your left and thought that would be the main order, the best order to use, that would be incorrect. So key points to remember for these specific scoliosis exercises. 1, they need to be in the mirror image to the abnormal posture. That means in the opposite direction. Number 2, determine the specific sequence of movements using the stress x-rays to correct the postural displacements, and then use that sequence for the exercise. And 3, and it may seem obvious, use the exercises to stress the spine toward the corrected position. Remember, your spine is the foundation of strength and function in the body. Taking care of it is essential. Whether it's through tailored exercises, personalized approaches, or even general spinal exercises, your spine's health matters. So continue to join me as we unlock your spinal strength so you can live an active, healthy life. Click on the link in the description to download the special spinal hygiene mini class and learn 4 simple steps, 4 simple solutions to help you start building a stronger spine today. Of course, we'll get into more videos on how to do that here. So definitely subscribe, hit the notification so you're kept up to date.